Hello, boys and girls. Welcome aboard to Weapons Collector and Rock Eastwood Outdoors. Welcome aboard. They signed up and subscribed. I've been watching both their channels for over a year, and I'm new to this. I just started around Christmas time. And today's subject is prepper fantasy or sustainable agriculture. Okay, this is a prepper fantasy. We're going to be covering it a lot. This is my second time doing this video because the first time I was cursing so much when I reviewed it, I had to erase the whole thing. Okay, before we go on, let's give a big shout out to Weapons and Stuff 93. If you like gas masks and stuff, go please check out his channel. He also does survival and prepping too. He did a wonderful video today called YouTube Comments and Logical Fallacies. It's a video, go see it now. Let's subscribe to him and bump up his subscription up to 30,000. So if you could do that for me. Okay, let me cross that out. I have a lot of stuff I have to cover today, and we're doing prepper fantasy agriculture, like I repeated before. Sustainable farming or subsistence farming in a SHTF situation or event. Okay? Now, my big headache with this one, because I've written a lot of notes, and boy, do I curse when I write. Okay, a lot of people don't realize it's a pink unicorn fantasy. There are a lot of off-gridders, people from the urban areas, college students, university students always say it's a unicorn fantasy. Okay, they have no real-world farming experience other than me and Joe Primal. I don't think a lot of preppers in our group have any farming experience or ranching experience. Maybe Panhandle or prepper, maybe, but everybody else, I don't think so. All right? It's a big prepper fantasy on farming after an SHT event. Already we're in 3 minutes and I got a lot of stuff. I might have to slice this up to 2 videos because the last video I made of this took too long. And I also cursed too much. Okay, a lot of progressives and socialists use emotion and throw back on this idea. Again, they don't have any real-world experience, and every time they do something like this, their collective farming or proactive, progressive styles leads to mass starvation. Throughout history, 20th century, you look at all these collective socialist activities, what happened? They starved to death. All right? Little T, Uncle Alan still has that throat. Has the frog in the throat. Leads to mass starvation. That's what you get when you let college-educated people to do stuff. Drive you nuts. Okay. And basically, it's snowflake college students unicorn fantasy. We'll garden. We'll eat vegan foods. That's going to take another video because the previous video that I made ran way too long and I was cursing too much. Okay. Now, Hubble's cat will probably fit in the logical fallacy groups. Okay? A lot of Democrats, socialists, they use emotions. And they always sprout out agriculture. Everybody must agriculture and do vegan foods and stuff like this. I eat a vegan diet. Okay? I understand the process and stuff. But in reality, when you have to farm this stuff to eat, it takes a lot of work and lots of effort. And I hear insane, crazy answers from people who live most of their lives in university, went to college all the time, never shovel manure. All right. So in my other video, I cursed like hell on this point. So anyway, let's flip back to the other pages. I can't cross that all out. And mostly it's F words and certain things you do with your boot up somebody's posterior, but we're not going to say that in this one. Okay. Sustainable farming or subsistence farming. Rhodesia in 1979, when Robert Mugabe and his followers took over to make a workers' paradise or socialist, I don't know, wonderland. Rhodesia used to be United Kingdom's African breadbasket. It fed the UK during World War II. Typical African male in Rhodesia, the lifespan age was from 78 to 80 years old. Zimbabwe today, from 1979 until present. The average age of an adult male in Zimbabwe has dropped, okay, lifespan, has dropped to 58 years. Okay, it went from lifespan of 78 to 80 and down to 58. That's not great. Up to 2000, from 1979 to 2000, white minority and Robert Mugabe's government worked out fairly okay. I have to drink tea. Still got the frog in the throat. Worked out okay. Then around 2000, we have the Robert Mugabe's land reforms. Go back to nature. Okay, subsistence farming, sustainable farming, green vegan farming. That was a big disaster. This was Robert Mugabe's attempt to appeal to the tribal masses, which failed miserably. Okay, we have a sudden spurt of hyperinflation. Yes, I like to get some McDonald's with this $1 million Zimbabwe dollar. We had onslaught during this time period from 2000 of starvation in Zimbabwe. We had genocide of poor white people, not the rich landowners or farmers, but the working stiffs, the poor white people minority in Zimbabwe. You're white, you're blamed for it. It got too bad, so bad, in killing off these poor white farm workers. It was a stage 5 genocide. That's UN report. Okay, it's total failure of subsistence farming in Rhodesia. Let me explain this, because a lot of people don't read ag papers and don't read ag reports of other countries. All right, Uncle Alan does. He's kind of funny like that. Okay, Rhodesia's subsistence. This is localized farming, sustainable farming for villages in Zimbabwe. I keep saying Rhodesia or Zimbabwe. They're both the same country. Okay, sustainable farming is village farming. It's very localized. It's subsistence farming used by local area. It doesn't go very far. It's not profitable. You don't get any profit back from it. 2, it's low density, like Moody Prepper says, low density foods. So you got sweet potatoes, yams, you have corn and maize. That's about it. Their diet, localized diet from a vegetable garden, some turnips, some other stuff, do not provide enough high density nutrition when you have mechanical farms. Trouble with these farms was their productions of food was really bad. Okay, loss of mechanical farming. And it was basically, this was called, if you read their paper on agriculture, the Irish effect. Remember the potato famine? When your basic crops are yam, corn, maize, rutabagas, onions, shallots, parsnips, and certain other lesser known vegetable groups. Okay, the Irish effects. People were starving, growing these little plots of food all over the place. Villages were happy. African tribes and Zimbabwe, they thought they were getting a good deal. Realization is total failure. All right. No big banks want to back your little farm to grow yams. All right. So you don't get money for fertilizer, pesticide, mechanical farming. So a lot of the land went wasted. Okay. And people thought, well, we're going to have tons of food, healthy, vegan food. And what they got was a couple of buckets of this. They went from mechanical farming into starvation. Okay? They got lesser yields of a less dense, nutritious food. And they were starving to death. And meanwhile, they killed the white farm workers. Hey, you're white. We're going to kill you. Bah! Okay? Zimbabwe did everything wrong. Really. So you got to think, if you're going to do subsistence gardening, all right, let me cross out a few things. It was like Animal Farm. You had one group running another group out, which kind of drives me nuts. Okay. So I got to cut this because I got another 10, 20 minutes of material. So we're going to go to do a part 2 on this. Prepper fantasy of gardening or agricultural subsistence farming. And thank you for listening, boys and girls, and you have a nice day. This is one I want to do a couple more on prepper fantasies, which drives me nuts. All right, I'll catch you later.